friends, next session of hashtag success sauce and hashtag Win Obstinacy, that is chapter 8 part 4, that is 8.4. Here again I will tell you about a story related to me by my father, and it is a real story, not imaginary story. And again, as he was a jury of the High Court in pre-independence time, in say around 1945-46, the situation was that some eminent person has expired, and the allegation was that superintendent of Calcutta Medical College had been negligent and had allowed some injection to be done with power of some 0.1 milligram more than what is prescribed. And it is written in the books that 0.1 milligram higher dose is given, it can be fatal for the patient. Yet it was administered. So the famous lawyer bnsen was arguing, putting Mr. Waterman, superintendent of Calcutta Medical College, on the top. And Calcutta Medical College had been the famous medical college in Calcutta, and in top 1 or 2. And the superintendent's prestige was very high. So superintendent was mentioning that this 0.1 mg more is fatal. How do you know, Mr. Sen? Mr. Sen said, British Thermocopier, page number so-and-so, says so. Then Mr. Waterman was very intelligent. He wanted to outwit Mr. Sen and said, it is not the only medical pharmacopoeia that doctors follow. There are 3-4 pharmacopoeias. Mr. Sen said, kindly name them. So Mr. Waterman named them. And Mr. Sen sought an adjournment for 7 days. And after 7 days, again the question answer session started. And this time Mr. Sen has memorized 800-900 pages of other 3-4 medical pharmacopoeia along with British pharmacopoeia, and he was absolutely ready with him in his armor. And this time Mr. Waterman said, therefore, Mr. Sen, you might have understood that 0.1 mg more is not always fatal. It depends on the situation, it depends on the symptoms. Mr. Sen quoted the page and clause for each of the pharmacopoeias and said, no, Mr. Waterman, you wanted to mislead me. Each of them at page so-and-so, page so-and-so, page so-and-so, repeated the same thing as British pharmacopoeia said in page so-and-so. Therefore, you have no defense for giving 0.1 mg more of that drug to the patient who expired because of that. And ultimately, the case was won by Mr. Sen, and Mr. Waterman was put to prison. So here you can see that this eminent lawyer had such a great memory that 800, 900 pages, 3 books, say about 2,500 pages, he could memorize in 7 days' time and argue with an eminent medical specialist like the superintendent of medical college and win the case. It was win-win obstinacy of Mr. Sen. There was another situation of win-win obstinacy. Again, the story told by my father. Those days, around 1940s, Madhupur was a place in Bihar where people from Bengal used to visit for change of season, for a change. And a group of about 20-25 cousin brothers, cousin sisters, everybody had gone there. And there was a problem of ghost. So I do not know whether you believe in ghost or not. I also do not believe, but this is the story told by my father, and I have to believe it. And there was a lady ghost coming in the ladies section and ghost coming in the gents section and disturbing everybody and indicating that I will throttle you, I'll kill you. The ladies got scared like anything, and my father's one auntie was specialist in planchet. Planchet means you can draw the soul, pious soul of a person known to you, and he or she will dictate to you the answer to your question. So the dictation came that yes, there are many souls who are creating problems because there were many murders and tortures by Britishers in this big house. So their souls are creating problem. So first you buy a very shrill whistle and very high powered torch. These two things they cannot stand. And try to find another house where you will be peaceful, there are no ghosts. So that is what they tried. Whenever the ghosts would come, they will blow the very shrill whistle and 7 battery torch, and the ghost will vanish. And thereafter they changed to another house which was peaceful. Here the basic point is the win-win obstinacy of my father and his cousin brothers could get over the situation where the ladies were absolutely scared to death that any time these ghosts, lady ghosts, would kill them. Therefore, all you have to do is you have to master your strength, master your composure, and think about others, and always do not have any defeatist attitude in your mind, and go ahead boldly with positive intentions. This is applicable in all fields of life, in your job, and you will be able to succeed. Therefore, keep going. Thank you.